You're listening to 90.8 Hills FM Radio.
This is 90.8 Hills FM radio station, using our voice to rate your choice. Stay tuned.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. What an amazing evening. Today we have the 9 contestants from Mr.Sumi, and the Hills FM 90.8 is so privileged and honored to have their presence in the studio. Our little studio is, jam-packed with 9 of them here. And they look just amazing, and I'm sure the conversation this evening would help our listeners to know them better. Well, I'm told that Mr.Sumi, this is the week where they would be having the grooming session because day after is their finals. And definitely this would set a tone for them to be more prepared for the finals. And 90.8 Hills FM is fortunate to have them in the room. And we'll get to hear a little bit more about why they have joined the contests and what do they plan to do if they win. But before I go ahead, just wanted to share a bit for the listeners who is doing this and what is the profile of the contest that has been the 3rd season this year, and a little bit about that. So Mr.Sumi is an art and cultural show and conceptualizing the rich diversity and to showcase the modern and traditional outlook of the younger generation. And I think this is a amazing platform for young people to come on board and showcase what they know, what they can do, and also basically make themselves visible. And I think this is something that the Naga society should absolutely be influenced and encouraged. So this platform helps the Sumi youths to compete for the best from all the Sumi inhabitant area. So we have the 9 contestants who are representing their area, which is just amazing, and we'll get to hear more about that. So during the contest, the most desirable and alluring will be selected as the winner and runners up for the prestigious title Mr.Sumi 2023. And they will represent Nagaland outside the state, and the ecstatic entertainment will promote them in the higher platform. I think that's amazing to have a platform like this who just not looks at in terms of creating a platform, but also grooming and nurturing them to be able to compete with the rest of the world. So in this show, the aesthetic entertainment will also appoint a talented traditional designer who strongly is committed to preserving the priceless traditional and culture of Sumi Naga. So their objectives are to promote Sumi Naga tradition and cultural heritage with a modern touch. So the contestant has already been going a training for the last 5 days and more, which includes physical fitness, grooming, which is right now inclusive of this talk, diction and speech, and also they will be asked to perform the cultural heritage of the Sumi Naga. So that's when they have the physical present in person. But today, the best part is there's no visual in the radio station, and our listeners would have an opportunity to listen to their voice. And the basic principle of having in the radio is, well, they spoke about diction and clarity. So perhaps this would be a great opportunity for each of these candidates, especially to speak their mind, what their thought process is, and get to learn more about why they have joined this contest and what do they wish to do if they win. But I believe everybody is a winner by coming to the contest, and I'm going to give this opportunity to their choreographer and hear from him what he has to say. So he's got a lot of accolades on his shoulders, and I honestly have run out of the space to even know from where to begin. So I'm going to leave Tono to actually introduce himself and how he, as the choreographer for the Mr.Sumi 2023 contestants, how he has been working with them, what has undergone in this grooming, and why we are here. So I give it to you, young man.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I convey my greetings to all the listeners out there. My name is Tonoto Jumomi. I was Mr. Nagaland 2021, Mr. Northeast India, first runner-up 2021, Mr. India 2022, and Mr. Altitude World 2023. So that's about it. And then I'm also a recipient of the Excellence Award from the Governor, TAFMA. Yes. And Well, talking about this platform, I believe that this platform is something that should be really encouraged because pageant is one thing, modeling is another. There's a misconception about pageant and modeling, which I wanted to clear up first. So, pageant is somewhere where role models are created, uh, individuals who are exceptionally good and then who are outstanding, who can lead the younger generation, who can set exemplary examples. So that's why pageant, I give it very much of a lot of my passion, and then I invest a lot of myself into grooming or choreographing when it comes to youngsters. I make sure that I devote my time to them and then bring out the best of themselves. And well, working with this ecstatic entertainment, this organization, it's giving me a lot of insight, wisdom, knowledge about the contestants, what the younger generation are interested in, why they want to participate in this pageant, why they came forward for this, and then it gives me a lot of joy and then privilege to know that there are still people out there who are willing to step beyond their boundaries, to step out of the box, and then just be a better version of themselves, to bring out the best out of society. And I think that's a amazingly beautiful, wonderful thing. So yeah, that's the most about it. Yes.
Wow. I mean, as you were narrating the titles that you won, I mean, that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I think one can go on. But winning those titles definitely has been a journey for you, right? So, would you mind sharing with us? I mean, before we go to the contestants, I think we would like to have your experience shared. How did you even think of getting into pageants? And as you have rightly said, there is a big difference between modeling and entering pageant. But for you as an individual, as a young man, how did you prepare yourself to get into this industry, and who helped you?
Okay, so it's quite a funny story if you ask me. My journey began not because of my self-interest, and I want to share this with the contestants. Take this time, this privilege to
Yes.
share with the contestants as well. I didn't start on this journey like out of my own self-interest. I had some friends back in 2021. They forced me to audition for Miss Northeast,
Okay.
and I was the only one selected for from Dimapur to get selected for Miss Northeast India. And then the journey was quite new. It was something quite alien to me. I was entering an alien territory that time. But then, and I never had any idea about what the pageant industry was, what modeling and all this was about. But after I got to the grooming session for Mr. Northeast India, I got to know that it's not just about being presentable on stage or walking the ramp or nothing. Those are just minute parts of it. Those are just fragments. What the pageant industry does is, from what I learned, is that it brings out the best out of you. It imparts the knowledge of being an exceptional individual, and from then on, I started taking very keen interest. My passion was fully like invested in this industry, and then like I said earlier, modeling is different, of course, but the pageant industry, it involves a lot of grooming, it involves a lot of dedication. Discipline is very important. Maintaining punctuality is extremely important again. So these things are not just meant for people who are participating in the pageant, but it's important as an individual, as a man, as a woman. It's important for everyone to apply this in your daily life. And I believe that this knowledge should be shared, to be imparted, and then I think everybody should get to experience this side of life as well. It's not just the glamour that you see on stage. It's not just the good clothes that you're wearing and showcasing on the ramp, but it's the personality that you carry. It's the character that you are. So I learned that, and then that's how I got interested, even though I was not interested initially. And that's how I got drawn into it. And then now I even work as a personality development mentor for Pilgrim. So my journey has been very adventurous, I would say. It has been very adventurous, full of insights, new knowledge, new wisdom each and every day. encountering new people, new individual personalities all the time. And I also learned one very important lesson is that each and every day is an opportunity to take something out of that day. It's a lesson. It's like school actually. Life is like a classroom. You learn every day. Every experience that you're going through, you learn something out of it. And then I think I wouldn't have come to this mentality. I wouldn't have come to this. I would say not a conclusion, but then I came to this mindset that it's a learning process. Life is a learning process, and then I wouldn't have come to this unless I came to the pageant industry and then started indulging myself to be better. I worked consistently, disciplined, with dedication, and then that has given me so much. The pageant industry has given me so much, and now being able to groom them or to choreograph and work with the young people, I think to myself, like I keep telling myself that the industry has given me enough, and it's time for me to give back as well. Life is all about taking and giving, right? So yeah, this is my way, my form of reinvesting, giving back to the platform that has given me so much. Yes.
Wow. I mean, I think you said it all, and I'm sure the contestants have taken that well. And having a choreographer, a mentor like you with an experience and somebody who believes in giving back to the community, you have it all. So I guess we'll see the influence of Tono on your lives in the last few days because what he has shared, the journey, it's not very long back. It's very recent if you look back. But having to inculcate and be able to adapt to that change, it's also talking about sacrifices. Because we didn't talk about sacrifices, but your sharing definitely reflects sacrifices because there are areas where you need to leave if you want to achieve your goals. And I think that's where your disciplining has come and you've been able to maintain that. And you talked about character building, and that takes a lot from an individual. You talked about being a better person. That talks a lot about you again. You know, what are the do's and don'ts that you restrict yourself and you choose for yourself. So the choices you make. So definitely this is not just a one-time thing that we're looking at, but a long-term impact in an individual's life. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm sure our listeners have also had some clarity because a lot of times we have a misconceptions about modeling and pageantry, like what use is it? What difference does it make? But when an individual like you, who are in a position to share with people that this is what I've gone through, this is what I have gained, and this is the impact that it has made in me to be a better person and to give back to the society, I think why not, right? So on that note, I think I'm going to be very much encouraged now to go to the contestants because I'm sure the listeners are looking forward to that. And as I can see on my right side, we're starting with the first contestant. And the first contestant is Puloka Keichishi, correct? And he is representing Atoizu Zoneboto. And this question is, some it's going to be similar and some I'm just going to be impromptu because this is also one way of preparing you without a script question, right? So are you guys ready? Yes? Okay, great. So, Puloka Keichishi Atuizo, I would like to ask you, in the last few days, you know, how has it been for you?
Okay, it's an honor and pleasure to be here. And again, for my friends out here and all the contestants, for me it was challenging actually to be here first time. It's my first time being in pageant, you know, all the fashions and all. It was really challenging. At first I thought it was just a model, just a simple model, but after I walked in, it was all challenging. And after seeing my other contestants, it was more challenging. I should say, it was like at first I was like maybe this is just a simple like a show, but after seeing the other contestants, I was like maybe I should try even more or compete more with them, and yeah, that's all.
Thank you. So the next question goes to contestant number 2. Contestant number 2 is Gideon Sumi. He's from Telika village, Chumukedima. So Gideon, for you, well, you've decided to come into the contest. But what did you have to do to get into the contest? How did you prepare yourself to even apply?
First, good evening, good evening, people. And well, this is my first time in this pageant, and I have no experience at all. So I did prepare myself in some ways by researching this all pageants which have recently happened, and then I was researching something about this, and then I don't have any interest at all in these things at first. But after I did some research about this pageant things, like I got interest because this is a platform where I can showcase my talent or my potentialities, or it's like a challenge like which I can where I can mold myself and sharpen myself to be a better version of myself. So I researched about this, and I studied the questions which have been asked in order to prepare for the future, because those questions will help me to prepare myself for this pageant things. And then I was like, I just tried to walk. I did a walk as well before coming here, so that I can be more. I can improve myself before coming to this, so that the groomer won't have to teach me much. But when I came here, I realized that my back was hunching like this.
Okay.
So I was preparing physically and mentally, but I did not prepare much because I'm not really an active person, and that's why I think I should be. I told to myself that I should be more active and more. I should keep myself busy instead of being lazy. So I decided to join this pageant and prepare myself during this grooming session, and then be more active. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Gideon. The next one is contestant number 3, Iloto Wakami, and he's from Kokito village, right? And please, I would want every contestant to correct me if I am pronouncing incorrectly, okay? So I also get to learn, and even the listeners who are tuning in today, they also get to learn, because we all need to learn how to pronounce correctly. So Iloto, you are representing your village. How does it feel to represent your village?
It's quite a challenging one for me, representing my village, a beautiful village called Kokito village. I'm the only one representing New Land, which is also called the land of diversity. So I'm very proud of it, and all the villagers, the elder ones, those who are the presidents of the students union and the area Koboto area students union and the New Land, all of them are proud of me. And yeah, even me, I'm proud of myself being a part of pageants of Mr.Sumi season 3 2023. Thank you.
Thank you. Contestant number 4, Mugapu G. Aye from Zunheboto. What did it take for you to come to becoming a contestant? Meaning, what did you have to sacrifice, to participate?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Thank you so much, Hills FM, for having us. This is my first time experiencing in a pageant, and so fresh. But I've done some stuffs. I started to drink a lot of water. I started to take care of my health. I've gone around searching for my traditional dresses, and I've watched some tutorials on YouTube on walking and speech, and lastly, I've also gone around selling the tickets. Thank you.
Oh, that's nice. So basically, you did a lot of things which you normally would not do, right? So great job. I think this participation is helping you becoming a better person, what Tono said. Okay, so we have contestant number 5. Akabosu from Gokimi village, Buhuboto. Well, few days has been for your nurturing and, unpacking yourself. How has it been and what has been the most difficult part in unpacking from your normal to you're not the same person anymore, definitely, right? So, what is that new discovery you have made for yourself?
Firstly, good PM everyone, and I thank you for the question. It's been a new thing for me as well, as a part of this pageant. And well, ma'am, I'm really sorry, but could you please?
Okay, so the question is, what is something new that you have discovered about yourself? Because you've been groomed, right? So, like your previous, contestant said that he started drinking water. He started, like getting fresh. So you're doing something different, not something you do normally, right? So, what is that one new thing about you that you've discovered about yourself?
There's not one thing.
Oh.
I've learned so many things,
Okay.
like making new friends or perfecting my walkings, and I've experienced a lot. And but the most thing I learned is that as a human, and we all live together, so we need to get together and be united as one. And we need to respect each other, no matter what, who wins or lose. We need to have respect. We need to have respect, and we need to appreciate each other. And
Wow.
that's what I learned.
Great. I think that's the bottom line. I mean, I think it hits the very objective of why Mr.Sumi is being organized. Excellent. Well, contestant number 6, Nitoka A. Jimomi from Guke village. Guke. Okay. All right, listeners, along with me, practice. Guke. Right? That's my landowner's name. Mr. Jimomi, Dr. Jimomi, if you're listening, you'll give me a long lecture later in the evening. So from Sataka, right? Great. Thank you so much for correcting, and I need to practice. Maybe I'll come for practicing with you after your contest. All right, Nitoka. Well, what did you feel when you were coming to the radio station, when you were told that, all right, all of you are going to be in the room, you're going to be, interviewed, have conversations? How did you feel? What was going through your mind?
Well, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Like you said, my name is Nitoka, representing Sataka. Well, I was quite nervous because not only in the pageant, but even on a talk show like this. I've never been on a show like this, so I was quite nervous. Yeah.
Nervous.
Yeah.
And
after coming here, seeing them talking, I feel confident.
well, I'm telling Ben to actually switch on the AC because with 11 gentlemen in the room and me, the lone lady, I'm feeling hot, And on top of that, I'm wearing a coat. So definitely I'm telling Ben, please switch on the AC. And yeah, so you said you were feeling nervous.
Yeah.
So how did you help yourself not to feel nervous? Are you still feeling nervous now?
No, I'm quite okay now.
You're okay?
Yeah.
So how did you become okay?
At first, when I sit here, I was quite nervous. I was just thinking, how would I respond just like that? But after seeing my friends talking, I feel confident now.
Great. So see, you influence each other,
Yeah.
right? Your energy.
That's how we're
influences.
learning from one another.
Great. Thank you, Nitoka. All right. And we shall move to contestant number 7. So contestant number 7, your name is Nikito Kiho, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you are from Sutami.
Yes,
Did I
ma'am.
correct?
Sutami. Yes.
Sutami. Okay. Akuluto.
Yes,
Great.
Akuluto.
So what does Nikito means? What does your name mean?
My mother and father, my parents, they named me Nikito because, well, actually my brother, he was taken by God. He's in a better place now, of course. And actually, the meaning of my name, Nikito, this means that I have reached home. This is what my name Nikito means.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And how does it feel to be part of this contest of Mr.Sumi 2023?
Of course, it's really exciting. I'm really honored to be here. honored to be mentored by our groomer, Sir Tonoto, and also meeting a lot of new people, different kinds of people actually, including the contestants with different personalities. It's really a pleasure, and every day, like our Sir Tonoto said, every day is a new opportunity, and I've been learning a lot from each and every one of them.
Great. May more learnings follow you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So contestant number 8. Okay, you'll have to correct me here. Gunato H. Jimo. Is that correct?
Renato.
Huh?
Renato.
Gunato.
It's
Yeah. Okay. Tongue twisting moment, listeners. Gunato. Okay, forgive me.
it's okay.
Sheipu, right?
Shape village, yeah.
Sheipu village, Zunheboto. Okay, so when you decided to get into the contest, did you do it by yourself or somebody pushed you, just like your mentor's situation? And when you finally decided, what did it take for you? I mean, how did your family respond?
Well, joining this pageant was my idea.
Oh, okay.
Like I should say, it was rational before joining this pageant. Before I decided joining, during my college days, my thought of joining this pageant was rational. But after my graduation, I thought of joining, and now I'm here. Like there's a saying, your life is a gift you do not get for long. So make the best out of it. So I'm taking this gift and experiencing new things. I'm learning new things, and I'm hoping that I'll be learning new things in the days to come. And yes, talking about my family, when I approached them, they were happy that I joined this pageant industry. And me, the only son, my family will be helping in every field, in whatever I choose to do. Thank you.
Wow, you are definitely fortunate and blessed because everyone is behind you. And I think that's an amazing support that you have. And I do hope that all the contestants in this room have the same spirit of, getting that support system. Great. So the last contestant we have, number 9, and his name is Botoka Sumi Dimapur. I somehow feel that I have seen you and met you somewhere, but I'm not quite sure. And if we have met, maybe you can refresh my memory. So Botoka, 8 contestants in front of you. And how has it been for you? I mean, being with all the 8 contestants, including yourself, did you at any point of time feel intimidated or, challenged? And how did you overcome that? Did you have any fear? Because this is also about winning the contest, right? I mean, ultimately, someone has to be the winner, right? So how is it going for you?
Good evening, listeners of 90.8 Hills FM. Hope you all are having a good time with us. Like ma'am told me that I am familiar to her, so like we have met. This is my second time in this radio station.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Then we have met outside
All
also on a program.
All right, the
officially.
contestants are all funny, making that outside means where?
Yeah. It was on an official program.
That smirky smile that he's giving to his friends. Great. Okay.
So like being a part of Mr.Sumi is a blessing for me because I am the only son. I don't have any siblings. Now the 8 contestants and the groomer, we have been so much attached that it feels like we are a family now. And then from a very small thing to a very big thing, like in simple ethics, like how I should date with people. And then I am a guy who has a very short temper, but being around with people like doesn't allow me to show my temper off, because they have been very much good. And then this is reason why I am here today, I guess. Like our groomer has been very well it's very well grooming us, and then it's also a
opportunity for all of us, 8 of us or 9 of us, to be under his guidance, because yes, he have introduced himself. He has a 60 feet wall of trophies hanging around and more to come.
You've measured, huh?
Yeah, like his achievement is like he hasn't disclosed everything, but I know again many more to come up. So I'm measuring that in advance. So like the way I should sit, the way I should walk, and then like I don't have a proper food timing. So like these few days have helped me with my food timing and everything. Like I wake up very late. This morning I woke up at 5 and I was late. that too I was late. And then like with my skin tone, what color of clothes I should be putting on. That's all I have learned, and then like that is not going to end here, because that will be a lifelong process till I die. Because like I know the light colors won't go on me because of my skin tone. I should go with a color that goes on, and then like according to my head, according to my shape of my head, like what haircut I should be trimming off, and then like everything such. So like from how to wear my clothes, from how to come out of my bathroom, our groomer have explained us everything in a way that like we feel it funny, but that's all what we are going to do when we are when we go out of our state, because one or the other day we all are going to go out for some purpose. So it will be very much Bosti Manu if we don't follow this in when we go out, nah. So like that's it. And then once again, 8 of us, 9 of us would like to thank our groomer, Sir Tonoto, for everything.
Thank you, Botoka. In fact, I would really want to stick around like maybe 3 seconds with you, because you spoke about how to come out from the bathroom. How do you do that? I'm sure our listeners are very curious. What do you mean by that? How do you come out of the bathroom?
Like it defines in a grooming ourselves.
Okay.
So like the first thing when we go out, like we have to put on our socks first, and then our pants, shirt, like that.
All
in
right.
that way.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I agree with that, because my father comes from the military background. He's from the armed force. And I have watched my father how he dresses, the socks, the shoe, then the pant, and that's how you start from the down, and then you go up, and I used to wonder, why is it, but that's how the process is. And I think most of us have not grown with that kind of ambience, but that's okay. We will still have our Naga style of doing things, but definitely the profession that you are going to get into, if you do pursue in this industry, these practices are important, not just because you're joining the industry, but it is also for your own personality development, and what your mentor is teaching you. It's a lifelong lessons. Whether you want to keep up with that without a practice, that's something that has to be left to you, right? So great job down there, Botoka. So there is another question that I want to throw it to all of you, okay? So we're going to start from Botoka, and then we're going to go back to, from the other anti-clockwise. So, Mr.Sumi 2023, with the objective of the aesthetic entertainment, is to preserve the culture and the heritage, right? And to promote it in the best modern perspective as young people. So my question to you is, because I want our listeners to also get to know you more, what is your understanding of culture and heritage, right? It is not just wearing the cloth. No? So how much do you know about your traditional heritage and cloth? Have you had the chance to learn more about this? Is this just a cloth, or is it about you as a person representing your community?
To be straightforward, being born and brought up from Dimapur, I have no such ideas of what my culture is. But as I grow up, even me, because me from a semi background, like if I don't know anything and if I go out of my state, it will be a shame to me and my family also. So like somehow and somewhat I have learned something about my culture, the culture in a way, like how generous we Sumis were earlier, how brave we were in those days, mm, the leadership qualities we Sumis had in the past. We have been inherited till now, but we are not making those leadership qualities or those previous culture. We are not making use of that now. We are doing in a bold made way. We are using that. So I don't think mm, God gifted culture should be wasted in that way, I should say. And then coming back to the culture, I have no idea, not much idea about that. So sorry.
Well, I think this is where we start learning, right? Thank you. So maybe you could introduce contestant number 8, your name, and then to respond to the question that I've just shared.
Can you come again, please?
So you can introduce your name, because listeners don't know who's talking right now. Yes. So after Botoka is contestant number 9. Then after you, you can say your name and then respond to my question. How has this? See, it's a very simple question. The aesthetic entertainment, their objective is to preserve, promote, and protect the Sumi culture, right? And bring out the heritage for the young people, the young generation. So you as a contestant, being nurtured by them, how has it made difference to you? What is your understanding? Because Mr.Sumi 2023 is talking about your culture, right? It's talking about your people, your community, your identity. So what does it mean to you? Let me put it that way. What does it mean to be a Sumi, yeah, and contesting for Mr. Sumi 2023?
Well, talking about culture, it's like the food we eat, the dress we dress, how we dress it, and talking about this cultural, traditional, and preserving of our cultural heritage. It must be hereditary process because this is our identity, and in this pageant, the main thing is to promote this culture heritage, to preserve. The main thing is to preserve this our culture heritage, to show the younger generations how is it, how to dress, the way we wear, everything. It comes under this. Yeah.
Thank you. Contestant number 7, please tell your name.
So to the listeners, my name is Nikito Kiho.
So that's the same question again to you, Nikito. What does culture mean to you?
Well, it actually is a shame because, like my brother Botoka said, even I am someone who was born and brought up here in Dimapur, so I've actually been really far away from culture. But through this pageant, Mr. Sumi, step by step, with every single day, I'm learning new things about my culture through the different people.
All right, thank you. Contestant number 6, or yeah.
Well, once again, good evening. My name is Nitoka Jimomi, contest number 6. Well, even me, I don't have quite knowledge about culture, but I guess culture or tradition is something which shows our identity and which we should preserve. Even me, I don't have, like I said, I don't have no knowledge about it because I'm quite a detached person who is only confined in his room. I don't even blame my parents, but even they couldn't teach me about this culture or tradition, so that's all.
It's a great start. I think this goes out for all of us. And I think for me, I'm very happy that we're having this conversation because this is not just about 12 of us in this room. It's for all the listeners who would introspect, right? A lot of us don't know many things about our culture because of the gaps, and our parents have stopped talking about it. We have so many alternatives, you know. We have the Korean culture wave, you know, the Western culture wave. But I think these are some of the things that we can all learn from. And thank you so much for your honesty. So maybe before we go to contestant number 5, you want to go ahead? Okay, maybe you can start, yeah.
Once again, my name is Akabosu. About this, it's the same thing, I guess, for everyone here. We don't have any idea about this, but then I think and I believe that culture is about this. This shows who we are, more like a personality. I mean, personality is a mask worn by the Roman actors, and it's the same thing for us. It shows who we are, and we should all, I think we should all start to learn about our culture, and because this is not the only place that we will be asked this question. I mean, there maybe in the question rounds we can be asked this question, and I think we should all be prepared for this.
Smart of you. Thank you. Contestant number 4.
It's the same thing to me as well. I don't have much knowledge about it.
There's a saying, honesty is the best policy. And that's where we learn.
Thank you, ma'am. But yeah, after coming here, I'm learning. Yeah, I should say I'm learning a lot from our Sir Tonoto Jimomi, from our mentor Sir Tonoto Jimomi, and coming across 8 other contestants. Yeah, I'm learning different lessons from everybody. Thank you.
Yes, contestant number 3. What's your thought on culture? What is your understanding?
Okay, as in my opinion, preserving culture means preserving our language, because when we preserve our culture, we intend to preserve our language that we have been spoken in the past few years by our forefathers. And I would like to suggest to all the tribes, not only to the Sumi tribes, but even to all the other tribes, to preserve your culture and preserve your language. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Contestant number 2.
Well, hello once again. My name is Gideon Sumi, and I am from Tilehu village. And hello, Tilehu people, if you're listening to this. So, in my opinion and in my belief, that culture is our pride. The culture is our pride, and being a Sumi, the culture is something which we should not be ashamed of, and which we should preserve and teach the younger generations and the children of this era. And it's not only about this language or these things, but it's about our tradition. It's about the clothes we wear, and those clothes we call that meshomere in Sumi language. Not language, I'm sorry, it's a dialect, Sumi dialect. And then it's also about the food we eat. It's also about our personality, because every different tribes has different personalities. And then I believe that we Sumi people are very humble people. As being a Sumi, I should say that Sumi are also one of the best tribes in Nagaland. And then in this generation, young people are losing their culture because they are getting much attached to the technology in this generation. So it's my advice to all the parents that we should teach our children. We should teach our children about our culture, and we should not lose the image of our culture, and we should preserve it. So that's all I know. Thank you.
Thank you. Contestant number 1.
Hello again. My name is Blokake Chishi. For me, our culture, just like my friend said, our culture, is our identity. Our face is like what we put in our own culture ethics. You know, it's like you should be proud. You should be proud and be confident of what we wear, because our ancestors they preserve for us, and so like we should also preserve their identities like ours. And coming back to our dialect, our own dialect. Our Sumi dialect is very we other tribe can pronounce our dialect, like if we say akone,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
other tribe might say akone. It's like that. So we Sumi, we are very proud. We should be proud of our ancestors. You know, our more this modern generation, many of our generation, our young generation, we neglect our ancestors in like in our clothing styles, the way we talk, and yeah, especially the technologies. We should not neglect our pride, yeah, our identities. Okay.
Thank you. I think I'm going to pass it on to your mentor because it would be nice to hear from his perspective. What is his understanding of the culture? Because Mr. Sumi definitely speaks about the identity, the character, the personality, and also in terms of what defines an individual. You know, what is the best reflection that you're putting out there through Mr. Sumi 2023? So what do you have to say, Tono?
First of all, I'm extremely grateful that you asked this question to the contestants and giving me the opportunity to answer it as well. I want to quickly share a little bit about myself with context to this question. So I was born in Mokokchung, and I was raised in Dimapur, partly Kohima, and then I went to Mon district, came back to Kohima, then Dimapur. My childhood has been a mix of a lot. Being here in Nagaland, it's not like it's going out of state or nothing like that. But then, even if you travel from Zneboto to Kohima, you get detached from the language. Yes? So, see, what I did to preserve this identity of mine, the culture, I want to address this not just to the students, but to all the listeners out there. I started hanging around my elders, my Sumi elders, just to listen to them talk in our dialect. Abokhata, na, ni boha, roots that is called. So I was raised in a very different environment. I was never raised in a Sumi environment, or even my household. My father was never present. My mom was always busy. I was always alone with my sisters. So I took it upon myself to learn my culture. And rightly said, culture is identity. Culture is pride. Very true. But apart from that, culture is what you are. Culture is the embodiment of you. Stay connected to your roots. That's what I wanted to share, as well as in today's generation, like they said, technology. We tend to spend more time on the virtual world than in this reality. We are so much attached to the virtual affirmations over there. We want to be validation, seeking for validation from people, strangers online, rather than actually be communicating, being in touch with what we are. If I keep on talking about this, it'll take an hour. But I'm trying to wrap it up in a very quick manner.
Mm-hmm.
I keep telling the youngsters, you are a fragment. Society is the sun. You are revolving around the society. Society is not revolving around you. You live with society. Society does not live with you. You make adjustments according to that. Society is your culture. One thing. I also want to address one thing to the parents, as well as all the people who are listening out there. Actually, in pursuit of knowledge, please do not lose wisdom. Let me repeat this. In pursuit of knowledge, please do not lose the wisdom that has been passed down from generation to generation. It is priceless. It is invaluable. Once lost, it won't be coming back. This identity, this culture, this pride of yours. Yeah, I just want to urge the young people to go back and find your roots, please. It's very sad when in my own community I have noticed that Sema Manu, na Angami Manu, Ao Manu, they do not know how to speak fluently in their own dialect. It's saddening. It's very saddening. Whereas they can just jam to a whole verse of a Korean song, a Japanese song, or can just vibe and jibe to Western music, but they do not know a single item in their cultural folklore. This story pin ajane na. They do not know how to the folk song. It be corona jane. Very privileged and fortunate that we have contestants who know how to do war cry, who have done the war dance, na. And then I myself have, like I said, I wasn't born and brought up in my village or in Simi area, but then I took it upon myself to learn these things, and then I have done the war dance during the Tuluni Ahuna. I've done it for Alubo's wedding. His wedding stage, he wanted it to be a traditional touch, so I made it by hand for him. I did his escort doing the war dance to his wedding. Na? I danced all the way through his aisle, like that. Make it your obligation, make it your responsibility to find your roots, to find your identity. That is the only thing you can be proud of. Proudly manuke kole parado, knowing yourself, na? By knowing yourself you can be proud. Otherwise, not knowing who you are, not knowing where you come from, not knowing your not knowing the basic knowledge about your ancestry, it takes away the weightage from you. Itu all leverage thakapi hari jai na. Itu like I just want to take this moment to just urge the youngsters, the parents, everyone to like, let's go and then find our roots. Let's stay connected. Nah? Let's not live in the virtual world as much as we do. Let's come back to reality. Be kind to one another. My life, it revolves around one quote. I've been following this quote for almost 12 years now. So, be the reason for someone to believe in miracles. And be a miracle. Every day is an opportunity to make miracles happen with your tiniest actions, your words. It's a miracle. Go to a stranger and then tell them how much God loves them. That's a miracle. Maybe that person needed to hear that word that day. No? It must have saved them from something horrible. So I want to promote this. I feel like Nagas have always been this hospitality. When it comes to hospitality, Nagas are like extremely good at it. Nah? We are extremely generous, kind. This is our culture. Nah? We should be that. We should aspire to be that. We should inspire to do that. Okay? So yeah. So that's a quick message that I really, really wanted to share. And then I've been looking for a platform where I could
speak your heart.
Speak my heart out to my to my heart's content. And then very thankful to 90.8 Hills FM for this immaculate timing and opportunity. Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Well, thank you so much. Well, the 9 contestants with their mentor. I mean, I think we've been very, very blessed and fortunate to have had this honor with your presence and getting to listen to each one of you. You know, I think that's very important. And what Tono is sharing is about spending more time in person. You see, technology is inevitable. Okay, it's going to be there. But how you use it, it's something that we all have to decide, you know. And it is here on this note where Mr.Sumi 2023, the 9 contestants, and I'm sure the listeners have gained a lot of information about you and also will be reflecting, definitely. They may not be contesting, but they definitely are contesting within themselves about the inner search, you know, finding your roots. And I think it's not just about Mr.Sumi 2023 as a pageantry, but it is in terms of your lifelong impact through this opportunity that you're finding. All of you are winners in life. This is just one part of that fragment that your mentor speaks about. So please enjoy the rite that you would be having in the next few days, because on 16th you have your finals, and that's another nerve-wracking moment. But definitely don't forget to have fun, be happy, because I tried to check the meaning of the name of the entertainment, aesthetic, and it talks about, what did it talk about? Now I even quickly forgot about it. Wait, I was just Googling that. But I think it's about being happy, and that really made me very interested, because it speaks about extremely happy. So if this platform is making every individual who encounters, the people who have created this, and this is the 3rd season, then they want you to be happy, not externally, but from inside. And I think that's going to take a long, it's going to go along with you. So be a happier person and be an asset to your community. And I hope each one of you, when we're talking about roots, we go to our native village. Because as young people, we've stopped visiting our villages. Because that's where the treasure is, We often, some of our friends, we talk about this, that whether you're in any parts of the world, if when two Nagas meet, the first thing they ask, Kuntu Bosti para ase. So our Bosti is our heartbeat. May we all continue to go back. If some of us in this room have not, and if our listeners are listening, if we have stopped going for whatever reason, because we're so busy in this life to make ends meet, but let's not forget from where we come from. And let's contribute in whatever capacity that we can. And I hope after this contest, you all will continue to be friends and brothers and will be an asset to one another, help one another. Because I want to end this conversation this evening with all of you with this Bible verse, which I felt that it's very apt. And I hope each one of you would find the liberty to ponder on your lifetime's quiet time, because we were talking about pride, right? Culture as our pride, our identity. I think if we're not careful and where this pride is coming from, it can be a failure for you in life. Because in our Naga sense, our pride, many a times it goes to the negative side. So if our foundation, where is our foundation being laid? It's going to be very important, okay? So I want to leave this conversation for all of us in this room and to our listeners. And like I said, and 90.8 Hills FM has been very fortunate to be part of the Mr.Sumi 2023. And we wish all the contestants the best. And may all of you win in life. And we hope to see you someday in this radio station as a community radio. We welcome you. Please come and share your stories, okay? So Proverbs 3, verses 5 to 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him and he will straighten your path. And I think this is very important. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 to 6. And may this guiding light be a stick for you as you take each step. Please do not be disheartened if you stumble upon something that you had desired. But there's a saying, when you wait and you focus and you're obedient and disciplined and you listen to him, all things are given in his time that is right for you. And may his will be upon your life more than your will. So thank you guys. As an RJ, I've been very fortunate, Bendang and me in this room. And having to see all of you and hear you, it's just been amazing. And I think this is going to be an immense influence to your peer groups. Nagas, we go by the peer group. And I hope you find your peer groups. And like Tono said, I really like when you said that you have started, you've gone to your elders and you've gone to listen to them. I think that's how we start. It's not difficult. You just have to have the heart to do it, right? So maybe we can all say bye to our listeners and I could end. Would you like to say anything? Anybody, you're most welcome to give a conclusion. Bye, yes. Okay, all of you say bye. So ladies and gentlemen, Mr.Sumi 2023, the 9 contestants would like to say bye.
Bye.
So please watch out for them, that they would be having their final on the 16th. that is day after tomorrow. So it's getting hotter, it's getting more tighter, and it's becoming more competitive. So with that note, this is your RJ Gugu Haralu signing off with Mr.Sumi 2023 and wishing the entertainment aesthetic the very best. Good evening.
You're listening to 90.8 Hills FM Radio.
This is 90.8 Hills FM radio station, using our voice to rate your choice. Stay tuned.